Be on brand, B.
Be on brand we go.
Oh, look, it's like 3 different Unibrang champagne.
And I've got the bell to keep you on track with trivia, right? Here's our bell.
Thank you.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for hosting us today.
I love this. I always have this vision, and I think, Karen, you might have heard me say this before, but I always have this vision as everybody's coming into the Zoom webinar. It's like opening the doors at Warwick's and everybody flooding in. So
and people jostling to get their chairs.
Jostling to get the chairs. So we'll have that visual going while everybody's
Black
joining.
Friday.
W is drinking our bubbly.
Yep. So we are celebrating Moms, Mimosas, and Manuscripts today, or I'm going to get that wrong. Let's see, Moms, Manuscripts,
Moms,
Mimosas.
Manuscripts.
We're all about alliteration at Team W. That's why we got together.
Team W here. And we got people already chatting with us and saying hello from Central Florida. So
yeah.
Yay.
I'm in the Panhandle right
Washington State, that's my home state.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Susie Baldwin.
Names popping up.
It's
I'm
always
sorry,
so
I'm shouting
fun.
out to Susie Baldwin because she has been at pretty much
Alabama, Houston.
one of
Oh my
Dallas
gosh, why
and
everyone?
Houston
This is
and New
great.
Jersey.
Everyone like coast to coast.
SoCal. Oh, it's so fun.
This is fantastic.
That is the joy of our new virtual life, is getting together everyone from all over.
Hi,
in
Hi,
one
Lisa.
little
There's
Zoom
Anissa.
room.
Love it.
Hi from Boston.
Love it.
Y'all, this is awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for celebrating Mother's Day with us,
Oh,
everyone.
Let me do one quick check
Georgia.
somewhere else
Yay.
here. Yay, everybody's coming in. Want to make sure I'm not missing any emails of anybody not being able to get in. So we are, looks like, oh, we got somebody. So let me just forward this message to our marketing person so that she can get
We don't want to miss anybody.
I don't want to miss anybody. So
We'll leave
real
people
quick,
stranded like I did once.
yeah, don't want anybody to feel stranded. So real quick, I want to chat for a little bit about Warwick's and let everybody know how they can participate today. And we've got a great afternoon planned for everybody. So first of all, welcome and happy early Mother's Day to everybody.
Cheers.
So cheers. I'll get my bell. I get my bell again. I had to be ringing that bell.
So every
all
time
day.
you ring the bell, we get to drink. Okay.
You get to drink. There you go. An angel gets his wings. You guys
Oh
get
my
to drink.
gosh, that is
W
brilliant.
drinking.
So since we have everybody joining us from all over the country, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Warwick's really quickly. For those of you that are in the San Diego area, obviously we hope that you already know about us. But Warwick's, for those who don't know, we're celebrating our 125th anniversary this year.
Yay!
So while we are not the oldest, wait, here's drink to that.
125 years definitely deserves a toast.
There you go. Women owned. Nancy Warwick is the 4th generation owner of the store. And so while we're not the oldest bookstore in the country, we're the oldest continuously family owned bookstore in the country. So we have quite a legacy.
Fantastic.
So, and we do wonderful events here, and it's wonderful to have, that's kind of what we're known for. So it's been so fun to do them virtually with everybody. And we would probably never be able to do this with you all without it being virtual. So there are some good things about this.
Mm-hmm.
So for today, we are going to, and one of the things I like to say too about Warwick's is any way that there is to get a book, y'all can get it from Warwick's. We can ship it anywhere. So I'm going to be putting in all the ways we said goodbye into the chat. And so you can easily click on that. There's some little prizes that you'll get for those of you that already did order from us. We're going to be sending the books out before we get the prizes. So we'll send the little prizes separately. We're going to be playing some trivia later.
Somebody say cocktail recipe cards.
There, look at that.
Free with purchase.
Free with
I have
purchase.
charming bookmarks.
And
Yes. Designed by the W's. We designed this ourselves.
No, the books
And they're
are not
signed. They're
autographed.
signed by all 3 of us.
The bookmarks are.
Yes.
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 Somebody just asked if
Really
the
hear
books
it.
will be.
Well, the books aren't, but the bookmarks are. So you can always
Yes.
tape your
They
bookmark
are.
into your
I'm sorry,
book.
I haven't signed these yet. I will before I send them out.
Karen.
Don't worry. I was the last one.
I love
She
it.
was busy being our dead mother.
But
That's
I love
right.
the fact
Yes.
that they're actually signed and it's not just printed signatures. So that's
No,
very-
we-
We signed every
yes.
single
Yeah.
one.
so
My
that's very
preschooler was like,
Unsigned.
"Mommy, why are you doing that?"
That's
Well, we
what my
just miss
kids like
signing
when I-
books. So we're signing anything now and bookmarks, you know.
excellent. So
Okay, maybe you are. Yeah.
really quickly. So I'm going to do
My
the quick
husband
intro.
wakes up in the night and there's like Sharpie all over his chest.
It's like, what's happening here? I'm going to do a
Sorry,
quick
that's
intro
why
of the
we can't.
ladies, and then we will start the fun. So this is,
Okay.
I will
Sorry,
read quickly. So hopefully
Not
we'll get
excited
this
yet.
through here. So Beatrice Williams is the best-selling author of 10 novels, including The Summer Wives, 100 Summers, The Secret Life of Violet Grant, A Certain Age, and The Golden Hour. A native of Seattle, she graduated from Stanford University and earned an MBA in finance from Columbia University, then spent several years in New York and London as a corporate strategy consultant before pursuing her passion for historical fiction. She lives with her husband and 4 children near the Connecticut shore, where she divides her time between writing and laundry, as do we all with the laundry, maybe not the writing.
That was, yeah, I know. Very appropriate for Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
And just a brief hint to those listening, listen carefully to the bios because they might help you with the trivia.
Might have a little trivia there, a little clue there, Karen.
Mhm.
Lauren Willig is the New York Times and USA Today bestselling author of 20 novels, including The Summer Country, The Ashford Affair, That Summer, The Other Daughter, and The English Wife, as well as the Rita Award-winning Pink Carnation series. An alumna of Yale University, she has a graduate degree in history from Harvard and a JD from Harvard Law School. She lives in New York City with her husband, kindergartner, toddler, and vast quantities of coffee. So you are a busy woman too. And Karen White is a New York Times and USA Today bestselling author and currently writes what she refers to as gritlit, Southern women's fiction, and has also expanded her horizons into writing a mystery series set in Charleston, South Carolina. She is a graduate of the American School in London, law school. I'm mixing y'all up.
Why not? Why not?
She is a graduate of the American School in London and has a BS in management from Tulane University. When not writing, she spends her time reading, scrapbooking, playing piano, and avoiding cooking. Me too. She has two grown children and currently lives near Atlanta, Georgia, with her husband and 2 spoiled Havanese dogs. I can imagine, I would think I want to come back as a second life as probably one of your dogs.
Yeah, probably.
And we can verify.
Yeah, I have a feeling I would want to do that. Okay, ladies, ringing the bell. So before we start.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So the first question that I'm going to throw out to all of you is, how are you all going to celebrate Mother's Day?
Well, you know, it's
or Beatrice, you start.
Well, you know, it's funny because we were talking about this earlier, texting about this earlier, because obviously Mother's Day is a little different now than it was in years past, but you know, and I'm kind of, my father is British, and so I don't like to be the one people are celebrating, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not a big birthday person or anything. And Mother's Day, I'm like, okay, just keep it low key, everybody. We usually just kind of go out to brunch with my in-laws, you know, and just have like several mothers there. But my youngest daughter actually loves to do things for people. So the past few years, she has been like, okay, Mom, I'm making you breakfast. You have to sleep in. You have to sleep in. You know, you can't get up early. And I like to get up and go running. So I actually, this morning, I usually take Saturday off. But today I went running this morning, and because I know I'm going to have to sleep in tomorrow morning, he's going to make me breakfast. And so that's going to be, it's going to be amazing because my youngest daughter loves to cook, loves to bake. So yeah, I get to be treated, I get to be pampered, which for me is almost awkward, you know, because I don't, you know, again, the British thing, you know, I don't feel like I deserve it, but but it's going to be fun. And then we're going to have my in-laws always come over to dinner anyway on Sundays. I do a little dinner party for my in-laws and the kids, and we have to dress nicely and sit at the table and have a nice dinner. So we're going to have that, but with a little extra Mother's Day zing to it, and give my own mother a call over in Bellingham, Washington, and just kind of celebrate each other and be texting with my lovely W's, because that's what we spend most of our time doing now that we can't be together, is we have to just rely on our texting.
Even when we were together, we still spent half our time texting.
Well, that's true.
Sitting next to each other doing social media, and I'd be reposting. But go on. Lauren, why don't you?
Well, I guess this is the difference between being British and just an Anglophile, because I am like, please celebrate me. I intend to sleep late. These are the ways you can pamper me tomorrow. Please send me chocolates. No, not those chocolates, the other chocolates. Yes. You know, I've learned that I have to give very specific instructions. And this may also be a function of having very young children, where I have very little downtime in my real life. So I'm like, tomorrow, my Mother's Day gift is there's a little sofa in our room here. I'm going to sit on that sofa for an hour with a cup of coffee that is actually hot. And
Mhm.
the children will be elsewhere, occupied by other people. This is my Mother's Day demand.
No, I mean, it's, and what's so interesting is the three of us are at completely different steps of motherhood. Lauren has the little ones at home. Beatrice, hers are, high school or about to be high school and college age. And then my two are grown. Of course, I've also inherited my elderly parents. So that's a whole nother thing. It's another form of childcare, but they're older and grumpier. So
They don't make you pancakes in the morning.
No. So how I'm spending my Mother's Day, and this will sound terrible, but I have chosen to be by myself. Now my mother has Alzheimer's. I did send her flowers. I will probably call her. She may or may not know who I am. And I know my kids will call me, and I know my husband sent me tulips. He's a banker, so he sent them yesterday, so he wouldn't have to pay for that extra weekend delivery charge.
But Karen, that's like found money. That means you can get more. Well, I was going to say something, but that was my giveaway. But it means you can get more Bowden packages.
Oh, yes, there you go. So, so I mean, it's nice. I know my children will call me, and I speak to my children or text them every day anyway. But and my daughter lives in DC, and my son lives in Atlanta, and I'm in Florida right now. So, but it's good, and. The sad thing is, I will probably be working tomorrow because I must get that chapter done and send it to my Team W people. And yes, I could take the day off, but when you take a day off, you never know when that next emergency. I don't know when my dad's going to call me and say he, has to do something or whatever. And so I try to get it done, because if you don't get it done, it's waiting for you the next day, and then something else might, So this way, I can just sit and relax. Sit by the pool, right? It's working.
Well, I think this is kind of a theme for all three of us, is writing time. We want what we want from, I'm in the final throes of finishing a manuscript that is supposed to be turned in before my big release day. I have a book out on June 1st. So I have to get this book done in the next week so that I can focus on letting everybody know that I have a book. If you don't know this, I have a book out
June 1st.
I don't think anybody knows, because I have not been doing all the cute Instagram posts that I'm supposed to be doing.
That's exhausting.
But so yes, if you want to, get me off the hook with my publisher, please just pre-order right now, so that
it's called Our Woman in Moscow. You can pre-order from Warwick's.
Yes.
Yes.
And they'll probably have some of those bookmarks left over, so they can stick those in the book.
Yes, but as Beatrice was starting to say, I think that for all of us, Mother's Day is supposed to be about pampering yourself and self-care, but self-care for all three of us is having that uninterrupted time to work and get into, there have been so many articles recently about flow and how hard it has been to have flow during the pandemic. And so for all of us, I think the best Mother's Day gift is having that uninterrupted writing and thinking time where you can be in your own personal imaginary world again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mother's Day takes on a whole different, it's all different. But as long as you're happy on Mother's Day, that's the most, whatever form that takes.
Well, it's kind of funny. It's sort of like, there's two ways to celebrate Mother's Day. One is to just be surrounded by your children, and the other is to not have your children with you all the time.
That's I never really thought that before, but I'm in the stage of Mother's Day where you celebrate Mother's Day by getting rid of your kids.
No, that, when my kids were little, that would be my Mother's Day thing. We would all go to church together, and then they would take me out to brunch, and then we would take two cars, because after brunch, I would drive home alone. I'd have my husband take the kids to a movie, and then to go grocery shopping and bring it home, and I wouldn't have, and then he'd cook dinner. And that was, that was to me, because I wasn't doing the thing that we do 24/7 on top of the writing, and I would usually go home and write, because then I was relaxed about it. I was having fun, I'd sit in bed and do it, and I'd eat in bed, stuff that you never allow yourself to do. So, yeah.
And the kids, when the kids are little too, though, they love Mother's Day. They like it. They get as excited as you are, about it, which is that's really kind of fun too. So it's as much as we're like, okay, I need my me time.
My 3-year-old was so excited because he's decided that any holiday means cake. And he's like,
Ah.
it's a holiday. I love holidays. What flavor is the cake? So I had to run out and try to get a little cake so there would be cake for him.
I think your 3-year-old is always motivated by food of whatever kind.
But
I think
specific food, very specific food with icing.
Oh,
well, and I think it kind of does bring up something that, I think this past year, moms and anyone who's sort of a primary caretaker for a child, it's been a very intense year. And I think, I had my college age child home, and my kids were home, once the lockdown started last year, and it was wonderful to have everybody. But, there were a lot of physical and emotional needs that I was taking care of in addition to my own. And in addition to, having a book out and writing a book and all the trying to balance all that. So I think it's
also the rubber band effect. But it was the rubber band effect. Like we had all gotten used to, okay, have this amount of time to write, this amount of time to devote to either children or parents or whatever. We were able to structure our time. And then all of a sudden, kids are back, parents, the elderly really suffered during that shutdown, because of the isolation. And, so that was like 18 phone calls a day from my dad telling me he was lonely, and so it's, and I wasn't, and you have to readjust. It's like having a new baby. Like, okay, I just need to find my way back to some kind of a schedule. And I think that was the hardest for me anyway.
Same here. I think it makes you really realize how much you rely on habit and predictability. And then when that's all shot, you find yourself floundering. It's you're using up so much more energy and thought trying to figure out what to do because you can't fall into those old grooves.
Yes. And there goes the flow. That's gone, because you're spending so much of that mental energy figuring out, when am I going to have 10 minutes to sit down and do this? And it's awful. I mean, it's getting better.
I remember I was actually talking to my husband recently about how I was in a weird way doing better writing at the height of lockdown in New York from March to May when we were in hard lockdown, because I knew exactly what was happening. At 11 every day, my husband would take the kids from 11 to 1. I would make my coffee, and those 2 hours were my writing time. And that was the only time I had. And so I made it count. But the funny thing was, once things opened up a little and got better, it got harder to predict and plan what our lives would be and harder to work, which sounds so counterintuitive, but it's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it is. It's the lockdown, and because like you were saying, those routines, and for us that but I have to tell you, I've embraced this working from home thing.
Well, that's where we were a few steps ahead of you, because we were always working from home. Everybody's just like, oh, my discipline has just crashed and I never get out of my pajamas. And I'm like, oh, honey, let me tell you, the key is to get out of your pajamas, take that shower, go on that run,
right?
In opposite order, obviously. And
like a job.
Put a little lipstick on, make it feel like, this is work time. And this is, this is when I focus and concentrate and do my thing. So, for me, I think for us as writers, while our time for writing changed, that sort of habit of working from home was not at all new. And
that's the key, Karen, right there. I don't mind my feet not hurting.
Yes.
Yeah, there is that. I remember the first time wearing shoes after being in lockdown for 3 months, and just what a shock it was.
Yeah.
The blisters.
Yes, exactly.
So wait, we have trivia questions. Should we have a
wait, before we go. It's time to drink. It's time to drink.
Whenever she rings the bell, we drink, and we do
drink, and that's now the fun starts. So we're going to start with
get your typing fingers ready, ladies, gentlemen.
Typing fingers ready. Who is
ground rules? You can only win once. So if you win, you have to step back. If you're really quick with the trivia and the fingers,
and you've already run, we want you to step back a minute.
And it's the same prize. Oh, should I hold up? Okay.
Yeah.
So we have
a prize pack.
We had so much fun putting this together. And this is something we designed ourselves. So we're very proud of it. Nobody can say it looks terrible. Please like it. So we did these tote bags, Moms, Manuscripts, and Mimosas. And with the back says, has our book covers. So it's a tote bag, and it's filled with a few surprise treats. So that's the prize. for the trivia contest. So good
And
luck, everyone.
Anybody say cocktail recipes? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Karen, you
And
can
there will
make
be
your face
6, right?
disappear.
Is it
What?
six winners, right? We have 6 questions, 6 winners.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
There'll be 2 separate trivia sections. So this is going to be section 1. So we'll do 3 questions right now. And
attention.
let's see, I'm trying to think of best way to get everybody's address. So I'm thinking that they should maybe email me their address. Do you want them
Yes,
to do
if
that?
you want to call out the winner and then they email,
They can email
uh,
me and then I can get that to you.
yes, because
That would
I'm
be
actually going to be the one in charge of sending everything out as the self-designated den mother. That
Okay,
would-
so what I'm going to do right now is while we're talking about it, so I don't forget, I'm going to put my email in the chat, which is very simple. It's events@warwicks.com. So you can email your address to me and I will make sure Karen gets that to send you your prize. So
Yep.
question 1 for everybody. And you guys can watch this too in
Can
the
we
chat
answer?
because
Oh,
what's that?
Karen,
fine, I'm
I
You
gave
can't
you
answer.
your own tote
Karen, you
bag,
have
Karen.
a bag.
You can't win. No,
Just like-
participants, what is that thing that they always do? Like if you work for the company, you can't win.
You're conflicted out.
And
Yeah.
Siobhan, no, I'm sorry, it's not international. We can't ship internationally.
no.
So sorry about that.
It's
That's
a
a little bit.
it's
of
a
a-
Sorry.
pain now.
yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
I know. We're glad you're. Where are you?
We're so
Siobhan,
glad
where are
to
you
be
joining
here.
us from? I'd love to know where you're joining us from. Okay. First question. Which W?
Oh, New Zealand. Hello. Oh my
Oh.
gosh, what time is it? Oh, God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It
Hey,
must be
you
like.
know, my last book just came
8
out.
a.m.
and it's
Okay,
on
so
May
not too
5th.
bad.
So yeah, excited.
There you go.
Go on. All right.
Okay. Question 1. Which W wears the most Kate Spade? Go.
Na, 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 na.
Oh, we got a winner. We got a
Wrong
winner.
answer here.
We
As a
have
matter
a
of
winner. And our winner is K. This looks like, let's see what's K. Let me see if I can. Carrie Cox Crosier is our winner.
Okay.
Hey, congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I appreciate everyone who said me, but I have 2 kids in college right now, so I can't afford Kate Spade. My stuff is pretty much J. Crew Factory, which is
Yeah.
wonderful. I really
Yes.
love J. Crew
Who
Factory.
doesn't love J. Crew Factory?
So let me make sure I write that name down real quick. Carrie Cox. Okay. Carrie, congratulations on that.
Okay.
So the next question is, get your fingers ready. I've never done this before, you guys, so I am just like,
You're doing it.
they're like, okay, I gotta watch all this stuff. So the next one, which W is originally from the West Coast? Go. Got a winner.
Look how fast
Oh my
they
gosh.
are.
Let me go back up and make sure I see who the winner is here. You
They
guys
See,
are
this is where if you were
really-
listening carefully during the
You will
introduction.
have caught that in the intros.
You are all super quick. Hold on, I need to make sure.
Because
Oh,
I
see-
sometimes zone out during those bios, but
Oh, you know what's really hard with this? Okay, there's congrats, Carrie. Thank you. Okay, here we go. So the winner is Anissa Armstrong.
Anissa.
Congratulations.
We love
Anissa.
Anissa. She comes to a lot of our stuff.
Yay, I'm glad you won. Thank you.
Okay,
Yay, Anissa.
so that makes me realize I need to, okay, there's where we're gonna start on this because I realize that they all just kind of flow down and I can't keep track.
I know it's so fast.
It's so fast.
That's
So
why
I
we're
just
making
need
you
to
do
make
this.
sure where I know where we're
It's the
starting.
easy part.
Okay, here we go. So the third question and the final one for this segment of trivia is which W doesn't have a business degree? Go. Oh, we got a winner.
No, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
So our winner here on this one is Nancy Weitzman.
Yay.
There we
Congratulations,
go.
Nancy.
Hey, and
I'll
it's
take
Lauren.
that.
Lauren has a law degree.
Yeah,
So
So when these two embezzle, I can then defend them.
there you go. I love that. Okay, so
I
make
got to
sure,
pay for
ladies,
college somehow.
Carrie, Anissa, and Nancy, make sure that you email me your addresses so you can get your fun prizes. So now let's see, where are we at in our fun here? So let me see. So
Talk
for the
about
next-
books.
let's talk about your books.
Yes, books.
So when to
Listen.
expect them, you know, what's happening with everybody on your next set
Well, right
of
now,
books?
Karen is working on her chapter.
Okay, it's taken me a while. You know, I had a little thing called a book release. And then on the same day I got my book release, I got book edits for the next book that comes out in November because my publisher hates me apparently.
Yeah, note
so-
to Karen's editor, it's not nice to send copy edits on the same day that the book is out. Okay,
I
that's
think they have
what we
secret
need.
cameras in Karen's
A
house.
note of
This is a reality
congratulations, a
TV
bouquet
show.
of flowers, all appropriate,
None of-
but not copy
Yeah,
edit.
no, but or chocolate, just chocolate. would have been
Chocolate
good.
is good. Wine, champagne.
So it's
Vodka?
taking a little longer. But anyway, so this book that we are currently working on, and we will be going to the place where it is set.
We're allowed to say that.
Knockwood.
Everyone
Okay,
knows
it
where it
is
is, right?
And in fact, it's being mentioned in the comments.
Newport,
Newport.
not California.
And this is where I think there's a little connivance. So originally, we were supposed to visit Newport in early May, the first week of May, and it's a little chilly. I'm near Newport myself, not about an hour away, and it's a little chilly right now. And I think actually this should have been one of our trivia questions. Which W hates the cold?
But everyone knows that. It was
Everyone
too
knows
easy.
that. So Karen hates the cold. So, but we're all scheduled to go to Newport a year ago to outline this, do our big W editings or plotting session where we get the whole book.
I'd already packed my parka and my all of my thick,
The
heavy
same,
woolen.
like,
When
you
Karen
know,
says parka, we're talking
bearskin
the
coat.
parka is fur lined.
And guess what? You know, worldwide pandemic, so we couldn't do it. So if you're wondering, you know, it's not China, it's not whatever. I think ground zero might be Karen, because now we're going in August. It's going to be
I mean,
blazing
it had
hot.
nothing to
and
do
it's
with
going to
the
be so
pandemic.
expensive. The whole world is going to be in Newport.
Humidity, warmth. But yes, we are going there because we are working on our Newport book set in the 1890s, Gilded Age, Newport. Okay, that was the height of the Gilded Age, those beautiful Newport cottages. Also 1957, which was a very glamorous time. Think Jackie Kennedy. Did you know that? I didn't know this until we started writing this book, though, that Jackie and Jack Kennedy were married in Newport.
Yes.
And then also modern day 2019, you will see a lot of recurring characters from our 3 books, our tri books, as well as some individual books. And of course, our recurring character Prunella will also be in the 4th Team W book. No, these are not sequels. For those of you who have not read any of our tri books, you can certainly read them on your own. But I think it's really fun when you read them and you get the little nuggets that are dropped into to every book. But that book will come out next fall, September, correct? I think.
You know, I don't know if they've said-
autumn. I don't think they've
said
given
a
us a
date.
specific
It's-
date yet.
Okay.
It's
Because I
supposed
have
to
a
be
book coming
autumn
out November
of next year.
2nd. And I just told, well, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but so book November 2nd, try book in the fall. And now Megan is saying she wants to get married in the fall of 2022. So I'm like, yay, I'm so excited for you.
Oh my
honey.
gosh, can we get the publisher to pay for her wedding because we do a book talk?
That would be
Oh my
amazing.
gosh. Let me ask. And that could be all the gifts, right? All the groomsmen.
Could we Zoom her wedding as a Team W event?
Oh my gosh, that is great. Oh my
Perfect.
gosh, the
Well, for
Kardashians.
those of you who
That's
don't know,
on us.
Megan is Karen's daughter.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Megan White, although she appears incognito as Megan Black in several of my own books. And you might just see her in one of the tri books, maybe the one we're working on right
She might
now.
in fact make her way to Newport.
Yes. So that's,
Well,
and we've all had books coming out this year. So since you were the first one, Lauren, talk about the fabulous Band of Sisters.
Why, thank you. Yes, I was our
You
March.
know-
I was our
Yeah,
March.
I was just thinking as I was listening to your bio, you know, you've had a wife, sisters, daughter. I mean, what
And
we
now a
have niece-
band.
we have niece left, I think. So
I mean, I feel like this is very reflective, though, of trends in publishing. Someone could write a dissertation on the move in titles from different things, because first we were focused on spouses, and then we were looking at daughters, and now it's sisters. It's about female relationships. It's like the Bechdel test in books. Anyway, Band of Sisters is actually, there are no real sisters were harmed in the writing of this book. It's actually it's based on the true story of a group of Smith College alumni who went off to France at the height of World War I to bring humanitarian aid to French villagers right behind the front lines. So you have this group of 18 women, some of whom knew each other before they set off, some of whom didn't, who are going out to a war zone where, you know, the British officers in charge are kind of like, why are you women messing up our war zone, to try to rebuild houses and bring milk to French villagers and all of this reconstruction work while the shells are still falling. And of course, there's infighting and a coup and drama. And the crazy thing is I didn't make any of it up. It was all in their letters in the Smith College archives. And all I had to do was take fake people and put them in the place of the real ones. So it was really, this book was an amazing experience.
And
then,
it's a great book to read too. So if you haven't bought yours yet, you can get it at Warwick's and get a signed bookmark at the same time.
I like to say that this is really the book that Lauren was born to write. I mean, it's just from the first page, it's so Lauren, you know, it's got just that background and just that really rich understanding of these people and this time and this, I guess, social group. And it's just so good. It's just infused with, I hate using the word authenticity because it's, you know, but it truly is, you know, you just, she knows these people. The personal part of the women that I think just really was the glue that held it together. You have all this great external stuff going on, but it's like the women themselves and their personalities and their relationships are really, you know, to me, that was what really, really made me dive into this book. It was great. But also, let's bring it back to the Team W. Tell us why you wrote this book and how you found out about this.
Well, that's
this
true.
Unknown.
This book would not have happened but for Team W, because some of you may have read a book called All the Ways We Said Goodbye. That was our third collaboration.
Do I have it here? Oh, that's so weird. I have it right
my
here.
virtual background.
Oh, how'd you even do that, Bea? You're like
Karen,
magic.
you're so talented. How do you do that?
Anyway,
She's not telling. Okay, fine.
One of my COVID gifts.
Okay, my library background is real. Look, my hand does not disappear.
That is an actual arm over there.
It's authentic, Karen.
Oh, shut up. Okay, go on, Lauren.
Anyway, sorry, I got also distracted by the idea of this story
Anyway.
called The Gifts of the COVID. It would be kind of like
I meant, you know how we all developed skills during COVID because, you know, this is one
that
of
skills with a Z, Karen?
It is.
Anyway, all the ways we said goodbye.
Skills. Yeah.
So while we were researching all the ways we said goodbye, we needed to know, for the World War I portion of that book, we needed to know about Christmas customs in Picardy, specifically whether a certain kind of Christmas cake would have been served under the German occupation in 1914, because this is the sort of thing, if you get wrong, there's going to be one person who will stalk you for the rest of your life throwing the wrong Christmas cake at you. I didn't find the Christmas cake in Picardy, but I did find a memoir by a Smith alumna talking about throwing Christmas parties for French villagers right behind the front lines. And I thought, oh my God, this is crazy. These people can't have been here, but they were. And so I immediately texted Beatrice and Karen and said, oh my God, you won't believe what I found. And I called dibs.
A brilliant book was, she called dibs. We do that.
I was like, oh, dang it.
And speaking of books that came out of all the ways we said goodbye, there's a book that Karen was born to write, which is, I mean, it's a book I have been hearing her talk about forever, or rather the nucleus of the book idea.
Right. And so it's the Last Night in London. It just came out April 20th. And for those of you who enjoyed All the Ways We Said Goodbye, there's a character, Precious Dubose, who in that book, we meet her and it's 1964. And she alludes to a past, sort of a mysterious past during the war when she was a model in France, in Paris and in London. But we don't know what that story is. But when I was working on The Last Night in London, which I've been wanting to write for a long time, I lived in London for 7 years growing up. And I lived in this beautiful Edwardian building, and I have been dying to write a book about an American expatriate living in London. But I wanted to do sort of a dual timeline, and I was looking for that historic event. And I remember when I moved into our flat, the porter telling me that the reason why so many of the windows were plain glass instead of leaded glass was because during the Blitz, nearby bombs had shattered them. And, that was my first experience with really, touching history. And I wasn't a writer then, but I had a vivid imagination, and that never left me. So I knew at some point, once I became a writer, I needed to tell a story of someone who lived in that flat. And so I have, and that is The Last Night in London. So we have modern day 2019, where I also brought back an older character, Maddie Warner from Falling Home and After the Rain. Not a sequel, again, just a character that I've borrowed. And then Beatrice and Lauren were kind enough to loan me Precious Dubose for the World War II section of the book. And when it starts, she is about to turn 100, and Maddie is sent to interview her, and secrets are revealed. So, yep.
And I loved this book so much, and not just because of the amazing way that Karen brought Precious, our Precious, to life in the book. I think it was one of those books where you sink in, and believe me, I am at a stage in my career, I don't necessarily finish all the books that I start. I just, there's so many great books out there, and if it's not sucking me in, I have a load of things to do, and I will say, you know what, you're wonderful, but you're not for me. Karen, oh my gosh, I was literally my husband's snoring next to me. It's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I can't put this down. It's so good. It's such, this is not me just being like, oh, I'll be nice to my friend. I loved this book. It was the storytelling, you care about them. You want to know what happens to these people. And, Karen's just so good at that. And also there is some, me, I love historic, but like the modern setup as well. I was so invested in Maddie, and it's just, if for nothing else, the end of the book where, let's just say, we have a very attractive British man in Georgia. Oh my gosh, I was dying laughing.
It is a laugh and cry book. Most definitely. There's a lot of emotion. So yeah.
I feel like this is the book I have heard you talk about the longest, because you have been talking about this Harley House idea for so many years now, and to see it take flesh and actually become the real story that it is just so incredible.
I know, and written during duress.
The twists. That's the other thing. I mean, Karen had told me all the twists before, because we had brainstormed a few things and all that. And, I knew all the twists, and I still kept turning the pages.
Yeah.
So
it was funny because I'd forgotten that I had told her everything, because we tell each other everything.
There were no surprises, but that was part of what was so wonderful. It's like, I know what's coming.
I said, did you guess the ending? She's like, Karen, you told me how it's going to end.
Told me the end. She's like, did you see it coming? I'm like, well, I have to admit, I did see it coming, but only because.
No, I can actually remember when you told us we were sitting on those high stools in your kitchen, and you were telling us the plot.
Yes.
Well, before we run out of time, Beatrice, did you tell us about yours?
Yes, June 1st.
Oh, yes, just very quickly. It's coming out June 1st. I will soon have all the Zoom events posted about that. So if you want to hear more about it, then you can hear about it then. But it's basically based on, I went down this whole research rabbit hole, the Cambridge spy ring, which is this ring of 5 Englishmen who spied for the Soviet Union within like the corridors of, the British intelligence agencies and Foreign Office for like decades before they were finally unmasked. So I sort of posited, well, what if we had an American spy from one of the American elite colleges who was passing information to the Soviets, and what about his family? And so it really focuses on that kind of like tension between the public stuff that's going on, the espionage, and the effect on relationships and human beings, and how this affects not just your own personality and your own relationship to the world, but your relationship to the people you love, and what happens when you have to make choices between the two. So that's Our Woman in Moscow. That'll be out June 1st. You can pre-order
the book. We need to see it.
And
hold it up. I know you
got it. Sorry, I have it right here.
I
just happen to have it right here.
You happen to have it. Oh, sorry.
It's drinking time. It's drinking time.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Okay, Karen, are you up to the strawberries hitting you in your nose yet?
No, so what I have to do is just drown them with more Prosecco.
Oh, you love it. Keep it going.
As soon as I finish this blasted chapter, I get to start your book. That will be my treat for Mother's Day, is starting your lovely book.
Aw, thank
And
you.
I
like
actually
it.
started it, even though I have been having the hardest time reading anything except, 1930s mystery novels. But I have to say, I mean, it's like for anyone else who loved Helen Inn's books back in the day, all those Cold War spy thrillers, it's like that, but with the Beatrice banter factor.
Which is awesome. Yeah. Nobody
It's
does
patented.
banter like B. Yeah.
I have a
It's
trademark
patented.
on it.
Love it. Okay. Are we ready for trivia section 2?
More
I'm sorry, do
trivia.
you need to ring the bell again to announce it?
You just want another
Here,
again.
drink again. One more
Karen,
drink.
Sorry.
Well,
trivia question, which W loves to drink bubbly?
yeah, I think, wait, yeah.
Great
Beatrice.
Question. Well, look, people are
Unfortunately, that
answering
wasn't a
it.
real trivia question,
no.
so sorry, everybody.
And the answer is all 3 of us.
That's what somebody put. All of them were. Okay, so we're going to start the second set of our trivia questions.
And I
So
hope y'all are
again,
listening.
yeah, there were some clues in there. There were some clues in what you all were talking about. And just remember to, if you already won, please refrain from
Step back from your
step
keyboard.
back from
Or you can write snarky comments, but don't
Yeah.
put the answer.
no answers. And then don't forget to email me your address at events@warwicks.com. So here's the first of the 3 questions for our next segment. Which character appears in all 3 Team W books? Go. We got a winner.
Yeah,
As we
we
say,
did.
think dried plums.
We have a winner. Let me go back up and see who our winner is.
I know it's hard because it does go down so
It
fast.
goes so quick. And so let's see.
Oh.
It is Lynn Schnitzer won.
Yay!
Let me write that
Where
down
are
so
you
that I
coming
know.
from? Where are you watching from, Lynn? Just curious.
Your
Yeah.
hometown, I think, Karen.
Oh, from Stone Mountain.
That's right, Atlanta.
Okay,
Hey,
there we go.
I'm in Florida now, but hi up there.
Okay, there we go. Okay, question 2. Which character can you find in both ATWWSG and Karen White? All the ways we said goodbye. And Karen's, they already got it. I didn't even get to finish the question.
Before
Oh,
you
yeah.
said Karen's book, somebody just threw that out there.
Yeah, it's like,
I know,
okay,
I'm an idiot.
we have a winner. Let me go back up and see who our winner
I know
is.
y'all are a lot smarter than that. I'm sorry that I dumbed down the question.
We do give you all a lot of credit. Actually, you'll all be very happy to know, I think, that Prunella turns up in Newport.
Because
Yeah,
how
two
could she
different
stay
decades.
away?
And I just
So-
And we
wrote
get to learn
part-
about Prenella's lost years.
So the answer to that one was
It's the
Precious,
lost
correct? I have Precious as the answer.
No. Prunella. No, who appears
No,
in
we're
all-
up to
no,
Precious.
excuse me, you're right. Precious.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Precious is the answer to that question. So let
Yeah,
me see
Prunella
who
was-
our winner is.
But yeah, Prunella, yeah.
Okay,
Prunella,
I
we
just
call her the
wrote- I just wrote
unsinkable
a scene.
Prunella.
I just wrote
She
a scene
survived the
and I
Lusitania.
snorted- I snorted through my nose with the
Oh,
scene
I
I
can't
wrote.
bring up.
I
who
hope the
this-
bubbles didn't hurt.
No, I was
You
eating
didn't have any
coffee.
Prosecco? Okay, good.
Okay, hold on. Bear with me, everybody, because this is
Harder than it looks.
harder than it looks.
But
It
we'll
really
just sit here
is.
and drink.
You guys
Okay.
can hear. Well, let me ring the bell for you. Ring, ring,
Oh.
ring. Yeah,
We
I
invite
can't.
everyone to drink whatever, take a drink of whatever your
Right. Could be
Serving
coffee,
Whatever your thing of
tea,
choice is.
water.
Okay, well, I can't. For whatever reason, Lauren, I don't know if you can see. It starts with an A. Who the winner is? It's right after. It's right after Prunella.
Hold
It's-
on.
It's after Christina Mott says LOL, and then down to where her name starts with an A.
Yeah, it's not letting me open it either. Isn't that so weird?
Yeah,
It says from A to all panelists.
all dots. Well, Anita,
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait,
Here you go.
is it
Anita, is
Anita?
that you? Anita Pico, it says. So
Yeah.
Anita Pico.
Okay. Yeah.
Anita Pico, you are the winner. I was not able to answer that. So there
Isn't
we
that
go.
weird? So I just opened up my chat. So if you have that problem, you got another person.
Okay.
in there.
So the third and final question for our last trivia question. So which family from Beatrice Williams novels is also represented in The Forgotten Room? Go.
Oh, and
They got it right,
spelled
wait, Pamela.
correctly.
Spelling it right. I can't even spell it right.
Yep.
Every
have a winner.
time I always have to correct her spelling in the manuscript.
I'm
'cause
sorry. And because I never spell it consistently. That's the fucking part. And I figure Beatrice will take care of it.
It looks like Pamela Rockich is our
Yay,
winner on
Pamela.
that.
And it is, for those of you who are, it is pronounced Skylar.
It
Oh,
is.
It's the
interesting.
Dutch, yes,
yes.
because it's an
Old
old
New
Dutch
York
name,
name.
and that's the Dutch. Yeah, it's the very, it's the pronunciation. I grew up on the West Coast, so I always, and I was a big horse racing fan, and there's a big race called the Stuyvesant Handicap. But growing up in Seattle on the West Coast, I just thought it was Stuyvesant, because
Well, I used to
that's
think
how it's
Evansville was
spelled.
Whereas
unbeatable.
as a New Yorker, we used to be taken to the Museum of the City of New York as small children and shown there were murals of Stuyvesant scolding a small child for stealing apples from a stall. So like Stuyvesant was like that uncle you wanted to avoid.
So nice folks.
Yeah. So ringing the bell again. So we start our third and final segment today. So everybody, we're going to do Ask Them Anything.
Ask us
Almost-
anything, just
almost
about
anything.
anything.
Now we
Just
had
about
a bit to drink.
anything.
We're limbered
We'll
up to
have
be
you
very
answer
honest.
it.
We will
No
get
passive
to-
aggressive questions. We don't like those.
and
Or aggressive aggressive.
Or passive.
somebody is saying that it looks like the winner, like Heather Bell Adams was a winner for the second question.
Anita's answer was prior to.
Oh,
Well, if Anita was
Oh.
prior.
If there's a conflict, I do have a spare bag. We can
Yeah,
always.
so maybe in that case, we should call it a tie.
Call it
So
a tie.
Heather-
We're
so
moms, so
Heather-
we're looking for the compromise always.
Yeah. So Heather Bell, send me your address, Heather Bell.
Yeah.
And thank you, whoever pointed that out.
Yes, because it is really hard to do this quickly. I was like, oh my goodness. So in our third and final segment, so we will try to get to as many of your questions as we can in the next 15 minutes. So, and if you have a question, please put it into the Q&A section. If you scroll over your screen, you'll see that Q&A box versus the chats.
Because then that's like incredible. So
Here we go.
Okay.
So the first one from Anissa. First, she says, Happy Mother's Day.
Aw,
Are y'all?
thank you.
Are
Happy
y'all?
Jen Mother's Day to Karen, because she really kept us organized
Oh, yes.
Yes.
with the whole thing. Cheers, Karen.
I'll
Are
drink to
y'all
that.
doing? Are you all ever going to to tell us who wrote which chapters in the wonderful Team W books?
Nope.
Probably
That's
not.
fun.
This would
100
be
years
like
after our death, that special box will be opened. But
Or maybe when we're very, very old, we'll auction it off for charity.
there you go.
So from Christine, how did y'all meet and decide to write books together? I have finished 2 by Team W, and the last one, The Forgotten Room, is next.
Oh God, we're gonna have to do the short
guesses.
version, guys.
Yeah, 3
I
guesses.
think this has to be the
is
short
good.
version. All right, Lauren, you tell it.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, the standard response is 3 authors walk into a bar, but it was really 3 authors walk into a writers conference, because that's how we became friends. We all were on the same writer conference circle together. We're all W's. We're genuinely W's. We weren't put together like the Spice Girls. And so you always wind up sitting with your fellow W's at events, and we became really good friends. And one very boozy night, we were whining about how lonely it is to tour by yourself. And so one of us, I can't remember which one it was, because Unibrain
It's a little
came up-
blurred.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, there were some cocktails and a bottle.
You're all lucky we can remember this evening, actually.
At all.
I
Yeah.
remember the banquet. I remember Karen lifting her leg in the air to show off her tanner.
Remember that.
That I had borrowed from Beatrice, by the way. Sally Hansen, remember?
It
Yeah.
was the night of Sally. But anyway, we had quite a
Oh
bit.
God,
to
that's
drink.
right. When like the Sally spray.
Anyway,
Roommates, right? We were roommates that year.
This is not being recorded, right?
No, I hope
It
not.
kind of is, but we don't need to show it to anybody.
Okay. The Sally spray is our little secret.
anyway, leaving the Sally spray aside. So anyway, we decided wouldn't it be amazing if we could just be like this together always? And then someone was like, oh my God, if we wrote a book together, we could tour together and our publisher will pay for our bar bill. And we were like, yes.
The best
Done
ideas
and
come
done.
in the bar.
They really
Done
do.
and done. That was like the most brilliant thing we've ever done. And it's worked out, surprisingly enough. So
You know,
Yeah,
even
our
in
bar bill.
COVID, I was just thinking one of the things that changed, for us was that we were all set to, outline and plot this book in Newport, in the balmy May weather, Karen. And instead we had to do it like everybody else over Zoom calls. And we'll see if, the book is materially harmed by not consuming a lot of wine while we're doing the plotting of the book, but
Well, we did still. I mean, it was just we weren't
I feel
consuming
like
the
it's
steam
taken
bottle.
a
but
little
a
longer
different
for us to
bottle.
write this thing too.
We're meeting in new, well, it is because again, the life's challenges have quadrupled with Corona. You know, I know for all of us. And the thing that I'm excited about is we will be getting together in Newport and come August when it's nice and warm.
It's
and
the
I'll be
W
there.
reunion,
The
and
W reunion.
we will be posting about it. We will do some Facebook lives and things, so you all can join us and celebrate us being together again.
And
be
then,
really fun.
then we will be able to, you know, then we do our final edits, which is just as fun as when we're outlining the book. And there will be bubbly consumed and probably other things as well.
And we
Except our publisher will be
invariably wind up coming up with the next book while we were finishing up editing the
It just
last
happened. It just happened.
Well, that
We do
kind
have
of
a little bank of ideas, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, you
But
know,
it's gonna be
drawing the
set
paper
in the
out, which
south
one do we
because
do
I'm
now?
not
Yeah.
going up north again. It's too cold all the time. Just saying, think South Carolina. Think
Well,
Florida.
somehow you got it changed to August from May. I don't know how that happened, Karen.
and Nancy, you've
Homeland
answered like all the
Security might wanna
questions.
Talk to you.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
And the
okay, good.
CDC
Yeah,
and the
The
WHO.
Oh, just stop.
all of them. She was conspiring with all of them. You sort of answered some of the questions, like Nancy was asking what brought you together, and the coordinating the writing. So that, Nancy, they've sort of answered that question. And Diane would like to know, so for the Team W books, but also maybe for your individual books, how do you determine what to write in your books? So
Yeah, you know, it kind of all starts with, well, I mean, I tend to, you know, send everybody, like this book, for example, I saw an article in like the Daily Telegraph or something, and I texted it to them, would
admit
this be
that.
a great idea for,
admit
you know,
that.
for a W book?
Yeah.
And usually they're like, no, Beatrice, it's really crazy. But this time it,
Well, also, how
time-
many people sends articles with Gibbs already attached in
I
all
know.
caps?
Okay, but you know, the one about the alligator, the dead alligator that was found in the grocery cart at the Walmart parking lot here in Florida, I
that
call
one is yours.
that one. That's
Sometimes
mine.
it's true. Sometimes, you know, Beatrice will send articles with this one's for you, Karen. Look, there's a dead alligator.
Thanks.
thanks for
There's
that.
Karen all over it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for that. Susan would like to know, Beatrice, do you ever do book talks or signings in Bellingham? She lives in this Puget Sound area.
Well, so what's really funny is that, you know, my mother moved up there when, you know, my parents divorced right when I started college, and my mom moved up to Bellingham, and she's been there ever since, in the Fairhaven area. So ever since I was home from college during summers and breaks, I would go down to Village Books, and I would go to the Califon Cafe and have their amazing soup. What is the African peanuts? I haven't done it in a couple of years, but there's like that amazing like African peanut soup and everything. And the Mexican corn, there's so many good soups there. Anyway, so I was a big fan of Village Books and the cafe way before I started writing. And I would love to come there and sign some books sometime. And the problem is, it's never been like the right timing. Like I've never been there at a time when I'm on book tour or something like that. But I would actually love to go to Village Books. Village Books, they tend to lean toward more literary fiction, I think, with some of their authors. I know that, but they've never invited me, I don't think.
Well,
But I met one of the lovely Village Books ladies at the Midwinter Conference. Wait.
Winter Institute?
What's the one that's in January?
Winter Institute?
Winter Institute. Thank you. Sorry. And the Winter Institute, and she was so lovely. So, but then, you know, we were just not going out there. So I would love to go to Village Books and sign some books.
So
and have
anybody who knows any connections.
So that
Yes.
is your mission. If you are local over there, nag your bookseller until they invite Beatrice.
Right?
Yes,
And
and that's actually true.
you know
for
the thing too,
everybody.
for everybody, and here's the thing too, and this is a key to everybody, buy their books from those stores.
Yes.
That tells them that they want you to come there. So it's very much consumer driven.
And while you're holding
Very.
the stack of the books at the checkout, say, Wow, I would really love to see this author here.
Get your friends to buy these books at the bookstore that you want them to come to.
And I've heard she's really funny, especially when she's had, you know, champagne beforehand.
Maybe we need to have a little bit of we're not done yet. I just thought I'd give you guys an excuse to drink.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to give
we would love, for example, to come to Warwick's next time. I think Warwick's now needs to be on the W tour.
Now they have a bottle of bubbly waiting for us.
Yeah,
I did come there. I think it was The Secret Life of Violet Grant, but that was several years ago. I loved the hotel. I love San Diego. So we're definitely overdue, I think so. Come out there.
I think so too, for sure.
So I'm just going to give a PSA quickly for those of you who buy your books online. You can buy them online from an independent bookseller, because that other big thing that sells books, they don't need your book business. Our local independent booksellers do, and they would appreciate it. And they do so much for us and for their readers and for the community that I know they appreciate your book buys much more than that other nameless company would. If you need a fly swatter, get them from that other company. But if you need a book, get them from an independent bookseller. That's my PSA.
Which is not to say we all, obviously, that sometimes there's a convenience thing and we get that, but obviously our local booksellers have, I think all three of us, you know, we just get so much lovely grassroots support. I found out that, you know, our Woman in Moscow is an Indie Next pick, which is a huge honor. And that means that, you know, independent booksellers voted on the books that, you know, they're really excited about for the month of June. And our Woman in Moscow is one of those. So thank you, Works, and for all those indies out there. Just the support that we get from these independent booksellers is enormous, and it's what keeps us going and finding new readers. So thank you, Works, and also giving us an excuse to go on tour together.
I know, that's the most important. That's the most important part.
Exactly.
Okay, we got time for a couple more questions.
Start writing together.
Okay.
Oh, wait, this is one little thing that I think we need to let viewers know, just to be aware. It is not impossible that 2Ws will have books out in the fall, around the same time, and it's not impossible there will be some in-person book talks associated with that. I can't say any more because nothing's set.
That's final, right?
But it might happen. Team W is fully vaccinated and we're ready to roll.
Fully vaccinated.
Love it.
Yes, all three of us fully vaccinated. We're ready to go.
Love it. Can't wait, because that's what we're starting to think about the fall too for some live stuff.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
we're just kind of waiting
I just think
for
some San Diego sunshine would be perfect.
And we
oh my God,
year round, so you guys can come anytime. It's between 68 and 72 almost year round. So
and
the view of the ocean is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, there's actually a scene in San Diego in this book that I have. So there you go. Oh, sorry, did I just I let something slip.
That's okay.
The other
okay, so Nancy, and this is kind of an interesting question. Nancy, I'm going to combine your two questions here because it's really an interesting, and I might expand on it a little bit.
Oh, so, librarians, hi librarians.
Do you think writing together makes you better writers? And how does writing together shape your writing? And I'm going to add a little bit to it. Do you see your writing separate? Like, do you write a certain way for the Team W and then have a different style for your own?
Well, I think we all for our different books write in different styles. Every book every time period we visit demands a different tone. And so even if you read our individual books, you'll notice they sound different depending on what they are. And so when we write together, it's naturally very different from when we write by ourselves. We sort of blend our voices and create something new, which is also why people can't figure out who wrote which character.
Right, which is wonderful. And I have to say that my writing, you know, for the three of us, if you asked us why did we decide to work together besides having somebody else pay our bar bill, you know, there was no real logical reason. You know, it wasn't. We don't know. I mean, our careers were all going great. There was no reason why we had to do this thing, but I think we all believe in just doing that extra, kind of stepping out of our boxes, you know, trying to stretch our writing muscles. And I will say that I think my writing has improved. I think I analyze it a lot more now. I don't just take for granted when I write something that this is, it's good. I kind of know to go back. And I know these two ladies really keep me on my A game. When they write, when I get to read their chapters before I write mine, I'm just so inspired and, I'm motivated to just write a fabulous chapter to follow it. So it's definitely, for me, it's been a real positive experience.
Excellent. Okay, we are out of time, but I want to end it with, it's 2 o'clock.
What?
It's 2 o'clock already. Drink.
No.
It's 5 o'clock in New York, so
5 o'clock
4
in New
o'clock my
York.
time.
But I want to end with
just
kind
ran
of
out,
which hopefully is a fun question for you all. Speaking that we were all in this like shutdown last year. Now, all of you are work from home, like you talked about earlier, but was there one just like really bad COVID purchase that you made online?
yes. Okay. So when we went into lockdown, I had 2 things I bought. One was my Nespresso machine, which was an absolute necessity. I was like, forget food for the kids, we're getting an Nespresso machine. And my husband was like, on it. But the other was, I was like, okay, I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. I am going to buy them this inflatable 10 tunnel ball pit combo, and this will be occupied. And
They
yes,
should have asked us
the
first.
entirety
The
of the living room.
experienced moms.
But anyway, I was like, it might take up the whole living room, but it'll be worth it because they will live in this and entertain themselves. They played in it for 1 afternoon and then had 0 interest. Like none. That tunnel tent ball pit combo, it was like dead weight. I'm like, don't you want to go play in that? Like disappear into it, go into the tunnel, do not emerge. And they're like, no, not interested. So if anyone wants a tent tunnel ball pit combo,
I see that on Craigslist.
You'll know where it came from.
Yeah.
For me, sadly, it wasn't just one purchase.
I'm shocked, Karen. Shocked.
Stop it. I agree. I have an online shopping problem. I admit it. But during COVID,
Intervention.
I know it amplified 50-fold. It was, things would show up at my door and I'd have absolutely no recollection of ordering them or what could be in those boxes. It was like Christmas every day. And I know it was a culmination of being, I'm always at home working and my husband comes home at the end of the day, but now he was working from home, very loud on my back porch, making a mess with all of his computer screens and smoking his cigars, driving me crazy. I couldn't go anywhere. My father was losing his mind, which meant I was losing my mind. And the stress was just, and that's how I stress shopped. And the American Express bill, when my husband threw it in front of me, it was, I'm not even gonna, it was unbelievable. And I couldn't have even told you what any of that stuff was. So that is my COVID horror story.
Love it.
okay, Bea, what about you? You've been very quiet.
Okay, part of it is because I had my older child in college. My second one was just starting. And I had literally just got the bill for both of their fall semester college tuitions, which really restricted me from going crazy online. I did make a couple of unfortunate clothing purchases, but luckily they were fairly cheap. As like I said, it was like J. Crew Factory. So, you
bought the stripper pole, right? You bought the stripper pole so you could practice for your moonlighting.
Exactly. The stripper pole. It's in the corner of my room, and my husband keeps asking me to use it. No, actually, one thing I got was because our cat. We have 3 cats, 3 lovely rescue kitties. You sometimes see them on my Instagram. Usually, it's the kind of calico one, Maisie, because she's more friendly. We also have 2 black cats who tend to, they were a little more rescue, so they're not as they're a little more camera shy, but Maisie, the calico one, she had this weird thing where she always had to get the water in motion before she would drink it. So she'd go to the water bowl and she'd be like, and I was like, why don't I get one of those like cool cat water fountains that like, it's like you plug it in and it's always moving. And so I got it. and we couldn't figure out how to put the darn thing together. And I'm actually really good at this. My dad's an engineer, and I pride myself on putting stuff together. I couldn't figure this thing out. So
Did it come
it's
from IKEA?
it is my shame. It's still sitting there in the bathroom next to the outlet that it's supposed to be plugged into, and I should just give up. But I'm just like, I bought this online. I can't give up.
It is.
Amazing.
But she's still doing the
Mom.
thing with them.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
It's my shame.
Yes.
We were all wearing masks, and I couldn't stop buying lipsticks. I was buying lipstick
person. I'm not into this nude lipstick thing.
No,
I think
no,
lips
look.
should be happy, not beige.
Hey,
But I was,
by the way, my Zoom filter puts lipstick on me.
Are you serious? How does it know the
Is
right
that,
spot?
are you wearing Zoom lipstick right now, or is that lipstick?
Oh my God, Karen, that's crazy. And it moves with you.
I know.
That's creepy.
I know. I like
I'm a
it
little-
though.
What about what
a
about your
shame.
mascara?
No, mascara's mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest
That's
is on
really
Wow.
that's really cool though. I love
So
that.
you can
Well-
pick your Zoom lipstick.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And I could give myself a mustache
I need
too.
to think about this for a second.
I know. We
Karen.
we need some Karen lessons on Zoom filters.
I'm a little.
Obviously, I spend too much time on this stuff.
An hour. Like, wow, that's a really nice shade on
I
Karen.
know. I know.
Oh, and
What
you
brand
applied
is
it so
that? And it's
nicely.
not moving and it's staying.
Okay.
People would be like the Joker.
It's not wiping off on her champagne glass.
Right. Oh, look.
Stop.
How do you do this stuff? Okay, my
Wait, and she wait. It gave her a
mole.
mole too. It gave her a mole.
Hey.
Look.
Oh my God, I see it.
That is so
You
weird.
have it's a
Now
beauty.
you're
salon.
very
Beauty mark.
small, Gigi.
Beauty mark. Beauty mark.
A beauty mark, excuse me.
Yes.
And then, there's so many things I could do.
Oh, this is
Um,
hilarious.
You-
Okay, ladies. One more ring of the bell. One more ring. One more
I
drinking.
ran out.
Oh,
I don't know how to turn it off.
I
Oh
have
no,
more.
Karen will be wearing the sunglasses for the rest of her Zoom life. Well, let's
Okay.
take a moment when Beatrice, let's toast to Warwick and to everyone who joined
Yes,
us. here
and Julie,
today.
thank you for your hard work and
Thank you
keeping
so
us
much.
in line. And thank you to all of our readers for showing up today. We so appreciate it. And
Yes.
happy
It was-
reading.
so Facebook. I
Celebrate
noticed on
Mother's Day
Karen's
with us.
filter, there's the Facebook at Willig White Williams on
Yeah.
Facebook. Do you
Yeah.
guys have a website too? That's your own website. The
We
three.
don't
of you?
because that's
We do not have not a dedicated website, but
Okay.
Willig White Williams is the name of the law firm where all our characters get divorced.
Love it.
So
You can find Team W information on all of our individual websites.
Got
And we
it.
might have some announcements coming up soon, so stay tuned.
Yes.
Excellent.
Exciting announcement. So yes.
Ladies,
So
this
again,
was
thank
so
you,
fun.
Julie.
This
Appreciate
was
it.
really fun. And when we
Thank
go
you,
away,
Julie.
when I turn off the webinar, unfortunately, we don't go back in a green room. So have a wonderful Mother's Day.
thank
you for spending
too.
the time with us. And thank you for everybody watching.
And thank you to all readers. And remember, you can still get the bookmarks and things if you buy one of our books from Warwick's.
And cocktail
until they run out.
Yep.
There we go.
And send me the
Bye bye, everyone. Thank you for coming and happy
y'all.
Mother's Day.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.